Hello and welcome back to the Framed podcast. This is week 11, making it 11 episodes that we've had so far. My name is Ben. We are joined by Craig and a special guest that I will pass you over to introduce himself now.
Hello, so I'm another Ben, but I'm Ben's Box Office on TikTok and Instagram. You may know me from a Terrifier video that I did last year, or the fact that I've created something called Project 100, seeing 100 films in the cinema in 2025.
It's impressive. How far through are you with that now?
So my videos are a little bit behind on where I am. I've
Okay.
just literally watched my 69th film, and I have my 70th film on Monday, so pretty far
Damn.
along now.
Are you planning on stopping at 100 or are you going to see if you can smash it?
I don't think I'll stop at 100. I think I'm so far along in the process now. I'm probably going to go past it, so I need to make the 100 a big occasion, and then I'll probably do a few more after that. It depends on the timing, but I foresee me going past the 100 mark.
My concern is how much money you've spent on the cinema.
Well, having like an unlimited membership is always very handy,
Helps.
but I do try and get something when I'm there, whether it's a drink or a popcorn or whatever. So I probably have saved a ton of money, but I've probably spent out as much as well, because I also love to buy a bucket or a cup or something when it comes out.
Yeah, you are.
Good man.
No, I respect it. Well, that leads me into the perfect first thing I wanted to talk about. So you've seen a hell of a lot of movies this year, the
Yeah.
rest of your life, even more. So I wanted to talk about what your kind of letterbox top four is. What are the four films that kind of explain you?
Okay, so I only made a letterbox account last year, probably in
Okay.
May time, so I've only had it for just over a year. Since I've made my top four, I haven't changed them. I'm not one who does like a seasonal thing or doesn't chop and change it, but I've got Fight Club, which I know is going to be very
that's
like,
fair.
film bro, here it is, very
Correct.
standard. But I've got Fight Club. I love Brad Pitt and Edward Norton as actors, and I think it's one of the best twists in films, which I know a lot of people will say, but it's just a film that has stuck with me ever since I've seen it. My second film on there is Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Sick. Okay, yeah.
For me, that film just doesn't age. Like, you could watch it now, and it's like it came out this year. I think it still holds up so well. Michael Cera, brilliant actor. Even though the character of Scott Pilgrim is a bit of a dick, that film, I just love it so much. Chris Evans as Lucas Lee in that film is one of my favourite roles of his. Next up is Inglourious Basterds. Tarantino is my favourite director of all time, and that is my favourite Tarantino flick. So I literally just got a special edition DVD of it, actually, just the other day, which I couldn't believe I don't have. And then my last one is The Aristocats, which is my favourite Disney animated film of all time. I know it's got a couple of contentious scenes in there, but take that away from it, it's just something that's stuck around with me since I was a kid.
They are all actually, I respect all of them. They're all very strong. Are you a physical media person?
So this is the thing. I used to work at Disney Store, and I used to get loads of the DVDs from there from the time. I collected DVDs quite a lot, and then when I moved into this house, not to have a go at my other half, Lauren, but she made me get rid of a load of them to a charity shop. And then as soon as I got back into like doing film talk and talking about them, was like, okay, we need to collect it all again. So you'll see, I've started to like build another little collection going on, but
that's fine, man.
I tried to get as many like special editions or box sets as possible now. I'm quite picky about what I want to actually collect.
That's fair. Yeah, I've hit the same thing. Everything that I collect will only be like the best version of it, if that makes sense.
Of course, yeah.
Cool. Well, that's good. I think that we've covered that quite well, and I'm quite impressed by your four. Because you always get someone that's got like a weird niche one that you have no idea what they're on about. But I actually think I'm a fan of all four.
Are completely valid for whatever choices, as we all say, films are subjective. Everyone's got their own favourites, and I know a couple of those people might think, do you know what? Everyone's got those in their top four, or somebody's got at least one of them, but they all have some sort of meaning to me, so that's why they're there. And like I said, I've just never changed them.
Yeah, I'm stubborn like that too. Cool. Right, so let's go over what has happened this week. So the past couple of weeks we've done has been a little bit quiet in terms of news and not that much exciting happening. But this week has some some weird ones, but they're good to talk about. So the first one that I've got written down for us to discuss, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man suit from Spider-Man 2 is being auctioned off on September 4th. It's estimated to take about $100 to $200,000. I'm going to be the first one to say it. I think that's quite cheap.
I thought it was going to go for way more.
I mean, it probably will go for way more. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
I
they're
also don't like
estimating
the fact
that,
it's being
but
sold.
I don't think they realise the nostalgia people have for Tobey Maguire. My favourite
Yeah.
Spider-Man, by the way, just to put out a personal opinion
The
about
best
it.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, and Spider-Man 2 being probably one of the best comic book films of all time as well. I
Yeah.
don't think they get the gravitas of how much this suit probably means to a lot of people.
Why are they putting it up for auction? I didn't read into it.
Actually, to that truth, I actually don't know. But yeah, it's the topic you bring up is interesting. First off, Spider-Man brand, No Way Home last year has made stupid money, so they must recognise how much it's loved, right? Like,
Did it do
so
like 1.5 billion? It's still in like the top 5
it's
like
crazy,
MCU
stupid
films
numbers.
of all time.
Yeah.
So why is it being 100 to 200k? That's dollars as well. That's not. Do you know what I mean? That's I don't know. And also, Spider-Man 2 is the commercially loved one, right? Out of the three of them.
Yeah.
Would you think that the Spider-Man 2 suit would be worth more than Spider-Man 1 suit?
So, Spider-Man 2 suit does differ slightly from the Spider-Man 1 suit. I think Spider-Man 1 suit resonates with a load of people because it was the first one.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got like the battle damage suit, which he has with Green Goblin at the end.
So good.
Spider-Man 2, like you said, I think is like the universally loved one of the trilogy.
Yeah.
A lot of people either have that as their favourite comic book film of all time, or certainly like in their top 5. So I really think they're lowballing how much this could go. If they get some like proper film nerds going for this thing, it's going to go 500,000 plus. I
Ed
think.
Sheeran get it. Ed Sheeran,
he loves this stuff like that.
buy some sort of prop every
and that
year on
man
his
can
birthday.
throw some money at it if he wants to.
But
I don't really like that it's being sold.
I know what you mean. Wasn't it like
I
only
want
like
it in
a
like a
month
museum
or
or
so ago?
something.
Wasn't it like a month or so ago that they were auctioning off? Like, wasn't it Vader's lightsaber? Wasn't it something?
Oh yeah, you are right. It was like the prop one that you
the prop for like 2 million.
That's
like,
crazy.
I don't. If it's in a museum or if it's someone like, I hate to say it, but if someone like Logan Paul buys it, we will see it again. But there's a chance that this is just going to go to some random billionaire, and that might be the last time we ever see it. It's just going to be in someone's living room.
I'd love
we're
to
never
see it in
going
a
to
movie
appreciate.
Museum, be able to visit it and see the suit in person. I mean, that would be.
They need to hang it up like J. Jonah Jameson had it in
It's
Spider-Man
on the
2, like on the wall behind, so that we can all pay homage to it.
And for 100, 200k, we'll give you that. We could put a GoFundMe for it to go into a museum.
We can set up a movie museum in London.
Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be sick. That'd be
Ed
very
Sheeran
cool.
can be an ambassador, and he can bring all his props down that he's bought every year on his birthday. Yeah,
I need to look into what he's got because he's got quite a lot in it. He was talking the other day about how he's got like C-3PO.
He's got tons of shit. He's got what did I see the other day? It was like, I mean, he did an interview with like Barry Keoghan. He was like, I can't remember. Oh, that's gonna bother me. I have to come back
he talks about like
some of the stuff
really random stuff.
Yeah,
it's cool though.
But when you've got money to throw around like that, you're gonna buy random like memorabilia just to have planted around your house, aren't you?
Yeah, I wonder where he puts it. Because in that, I watched the same thing. He talks about how like he's just got this proves how much money you've got. He's got so much money that he like buys theme park sized dinosaurs and just sends them to people's houses.
All right, All right, so he's got Robin Williams' Peter Pan costume, and Rufio's sword from Hook. Julia Roberts' Tinkerbell's costume from Hook, Linda Carter's Wonder Woman costume, Alicia Silverstone's Batman costume, C-3PO's costume, and is trying to actively acquire the George Clooney Batman costume.
He wants the nipple suit. Nice.
I kind of respect it. I want to see some photos of it come out. I'd love to see it.
He keeps his collection in a converted pub on his property, which also serves as a listening room and a cinema. I mean, that's pretty sick.
God, that's the dream.
That's pretty
sick. That is. Can you imagine Ed Sheeran hosting like a cinema night at that? Like an invite-only sort of thing.
We
get to see some of the memorabilia
in Film Talk. He's got a letterbox. He loves film. Get him in Film Talk. Let him host something.
100%.
I
back that.
I'm sure like Henry Calvert can like contact him in some sort of way. Let's get a giant geekdom film talk event at Ed Sheeran's house and let's watch a ton of shit. That'd be great. Bring it on.
That's a great idea. That they're going to bring Charlie XCX as well.
Charlie XCX, yeah.
Yeah, why not? She likes to put across her opinions on
She's got a
TikTok
Letterboxd
now.
account. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. Well, what else have we got? So, Daphne Keane has been cast as Artemis in Percy Jackson season 3. My first question is, how up to date are we all with Percy Jackson?
I haven't. I've got nothing to really contribute. I haven't watched it.
That's fair.
I have also not watched it.
Okay.
Seen the film, just not watched the TV shows.
Fine. I'll be that person then. Interesting is the first thing I'm going to say, mainly because the Percy Jackson series is doing really well, and it's like a Disney Plus. It's doing really strong, but it's one of them very niche series that you don't really know anyone that's watching it, but there is a lot of people doing it, and it's one of them things that's got like a lot of up and coming actors, but no one's kind of been a name, if that kind of makes sense, like properly yet. Like there's not been a huge name for a character, and as you would remember from watching like the kind of Logan Lerman films, they only made 2 and were going to go into the 3rd film, and they never did. And obviously, Percy Jackson season 3 is already kind of beyond as far as we got with Logan Lerman. So Daphne Keane is a really weird one, isn't it? It's kind of like it's a big name, but it's like a middle tier name.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Kind of like because Deadpool and Wolverine and Logan went out to the masses, and like you say, Percy Jackson as a TV series isn't something the mass people watch, but there's a very niche collective of people that watch it religiously. Daphne Keane being in films like Logan, obviously she was a lot younger then, and then Deadpool and Wolverine when she's a bit more established. Like you say, she's not an A tier actress, but is probably a lot bigger than most of the actors and actresses in the series already.
Yeah.
Because if there was another kid actor given to Percy Jackson, it wouldn't have even reached news for us to talk about, if that makes sense. So she clearly has a name big enough to establish the news to go out, if that makes sense. So maybe, I don't know, like it's on season 3, and which proves that it's doing all right. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'm kind of interested. I'm interested to see how it is.
She's kind of like a bigger fish going into a smaller pond in the sense she is probably the biggest name going into the series amongst the current cast.
Yeah, exactly that. So I don't know. Like again, I don't have much to contribute other than that. It's just an interesting topic to bring up to see what's going forth, because obviously we saw her in Logan, but she's so young, and then even in Deadpool and Wolverine, she isn't in it a lot. Whereas if she's in a series, this might actually be the longest we've seen her.
Yeah, it might actually give her time to more express her work and how she is as an actress.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see. That's kind of it, though, really. We can't really talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
But the next one is something I'm excited to talk about. We're all a fan of the Spider-Verse films. That's just fact. I think everyone is.
Oh, good.
Yeah, guilty.
Oh, good.
Exactly. From yesterday, which would make it Sunday the 22nd. Nope. What day is it today? Saturday.
It's Saturday the 23rd today.
I'm so wrong. Friday the 22nd, yesterday. Shamik Moore has posted a picture of him beginning his recording as Miles Morales for Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Is he in his own little room? Is he away from the Haley Steinfeld?
Is he locked in there? Is he like? I don't know. But
is he? Yeah. Is he kept away?
Yeah. He needs to be now. He needs to be, because they've delayed it for ages. But I thought he would have at least been recording it in the meantime. How's he just started?
Yeah. I don't know how. I mean, I don't know how long these processes really take. I mean, how long would it really take to just voice act? Not long, really.
The film's a decently long film, though.
If he's in
voice acting as well is a lot easier to be able to, in like post production, put more lines in or change bits rather than having to go back and film it all again. So the fact that he's starting this far down the line, they must be pretty confident that they're still gonna hit the timeline now that it's been pushed back.
So are we now on a 2027 release?
Something stupid like that, yeah.
So having well over a year to do voice lines should be enough, but maybe that's because the animators might have to change something to the way he speaks, maybe.
Yeah, because it got delayed, right? But it never stated why. And everyone just assumed it was because he had some kind of weird relations, and well, no, in fact, that's the problem. There was no relation. I think that's the point.
There was
He
no
wanted,
relation. Yeah.
and it never happened. And maybe that is right. Maybe it was a whole contract issue with like what is going on, but that was never stated. So like maybe it's an animation issue, a story change. I don't know, but that was easily that was a year ago, easy now that everyone was having that conversation.
I just want this film. I mean, Charlie said it a couple of weeks back. Where when this film comes out, it's almost going to be a 10-year franchise for 3 films.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's mental. Like, but all I can really say is all I'm hoping for is the first 2 films are incredible 5 stars. So if this can reach that, I don't care. Just give it to us.
Yeah, it needs to. I think we could it kind of needs to round off on it too.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like there's been a lot of controversy around it in terms of the actors. So give us a third, like 10 out of 10, and then end, and we'd be happy. There's no point of risking it.
Yeah.
You don't want to, like, what's a good example? Well, Percy Jackson's a perfect example. You don't want them to do 2 and then have a plan for a third and nothing ever happens.
Exactly.
You don't want that to do that with a 4th or something. You know what I mean?
Or if you want to stick to Spider-Man, it's like the Amazing Spider-Man. We never got the trilogy of Andrew Garfield, yet they set up a massive universe for that.
Exactly.
That's very true.
Exactly.
That is very true.
That's very true.
And I think as well with this one, because haven't they already stated that they want this to be completely separate from the MCU? So there's going to be no crossover. There's going to be nothing that makes the 2 combined. So like I said, if they round this one off, complete that as its own trilogy, then I think everyone could favour that as one of the best Marvel trilogies of all time.
Yeah, well, they had Donald Glover's Prowler from Spider-Man: Homecoming in the second one as like a cameo, but that's not enough to like
link it all together.
Yeah, but I don't know. But you are right though. It needs to end off. It needs to just end, and then you go, wow, almost like they're never going to make Lord of the Rings 4. You have Lord of the Rings 1, 2, and 3, and you go, we did that. We did good job. Don't touch it. That's what it is.
I mean, we are technically getting. It's not obviously number 4, but I don't know if is it a prequel or like the whole Gollum film we're getting.
Yeah, true.
That is a prequel?
True, yeah.
Or is that
technically The Hobbit is a prequel too?
The Hobbit is a prequel. Yeah.
But you haven't touched the core story. You haven't gone, let's wait 20 years and add one on the end for no fucking reason.
Yeah, that's the point Ian McKellen said about Frodo being in Gollum as well. So they're bringing Elijah Wood back for it. But it's not like they continued the story on, like you say.
Yeah.
Prequels, I think, are fine because you can't ruin the. It's that whole conversation you have about Star Wars, right? You think like Vader died, went back, Luke is all happy, you got all the dance on Endor and everything, and then they did The Force Awakens, and it really kind of kicked what you ended on. And that's the problem.
So it's even harder when they start off quite strong.
And gets worse again. Yeah.
I know there's some Last Jedi fans out there, but
all 4 of them are going to be well angry with this. But if you did decide to make a Into the Spider-Verse 4, yes, it has that risk of losing itself, and by that point you're talking 15 years.
Yeah,
and it has to go it's already multiversal. They done that in 2 films in what Marvel tried to do in 10 years.
Pretty much, yeah.
What else can they do once it... I mean, I don't know what they're going to do for this one. It's got to go interdimensional even further, or even further multiversal. It's like, what else can they do to actually progress the story further?
And if we were having this conversation about an actual MCU live-action project, what the line you just said would make me go, oh, God, like, it concerns me. But as soon as it's Into the Spider-Verse, I'm like, now they've got it. They'll be fine. Because I know that they're good at what they do.
Yeah. As much as Sony like to fuck around with Marvel as well.
That is true. What else have we got? Fallout Season 2 had its first trailer and poster this week.
I'm excited.
Did we like Season 1?
I absolutely love Season 1.
I love Season 1 as well. Yeah.
I knew it was good because my girlfriend watched it with me. And she isn't a fan of the things we like to watch together a lot of the time. So that proves it was good. And that we mutually got joined in on something. I do need a rewatch because I kind of feel it was a little bit forgettable, or maybe it's the time between.
When did it come out? Was it last year?
Was it last year?
Was it just last year?
Yeah.
And the fact I'm saying it's forgettable already isn't a good thing.
I do remember parts of it, but I will need a rewatch. But it's one of those things with video game adaptations, isn't it? I feel like recently they've been doing quite well.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never played Fallout.
Okay.
However, I love the series, and it's like The Last of Us. I played that, and I thought the series was okay. But it's one of those things where video game adaptations, I think, are doing okay. So I think season 2, if it stays on the same level as season 1,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I
happy.
will say I wasn't. I watched the trailer and nothing in that trailer made me go, ooh.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, and
Maybe they
I'm
don't give
willing
too
to be
much
proven
away,
wrong.
so it's just like okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
mean,
think TV series adaptations of games seem to do well because you can flesh the story out better.
Yeah,
Films don't seem to do it as well because they have to really rush or skip over things, whereas TV series you can you can explore the wider world of it. And Fallout
exactly.
being massive over multiple games,
Mhm.
there's so much to explore there. So I think as soon as the first series came out and was popular, you knew it was going to follow on with the second season.
Yeah, definitely.
And when you have massive names in it like Walton Goggins, who I think is probably most people's favourite character in the first season, and the fact the second season's bringing Macaulay Culkin into it as well, that is crazy.
He looks insane in this. He looks
yeah,
so
he
good.
does. Yeah, he does.
I'm like, is this Macaulay Culkin's like first acting thing in a long time? What's he done recently? Has he done
I've
anything
seen
recently?
in a long time.
I do like the fact that he came out recently and said that between him and his brother, they have one Oscar together.
Yeah. He did a film in 2020 called Intergalactic. Sorry, 2022, and then he did something else called Loving Neverland in 2020. So yes,
but
you're
this
right.
really puts him back in like the main focus for not only to be a very massive game franchise on a TV series, but Prime, one of the biggest streaming services out there at the moment. It really puts him back center stage. Obviously, we don't know how big his character is going to be just yet.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I think you are completely correct in saying about like the games done as a series, because when you think about like what we had as movies, my first thought is Assassin's Creed.
Terrible.
Awful.
Having such a big name
Awful.
as Fassbender involved in that as well.
Ruined
Uncharted.
Awful.
Awful. Like
Borderlands.
Oh yeah.
Borderlands.
Yeah. But then you've got the other ones. You've got the other ones when they don't take themselves seriously to do well. You've got Super Mario.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good film.
I don't mind it. I think it's good fun. It's a
Minecraft.
good. I mean, what do you say
know
about
what I mean? They
Minecraft?
weren't serious. They're not taking it seriously. But then
However,
you have got the other
Sonic.
ways. Yeah. Okay, yeah, true.
Sonic was great.
Sonic was
3
great.
was so good.
That was like life changer. That watching Shadow the Hedgehog Akira slide up the side of a building. Coolest thing.
Dr. Eggman and his grandfather dancing.
Oh, how could you forget? Yeah, of course. But then you've got, to be fair though, I say that there are some series that are pretty like awful. Like the Halo series was tragic.
I've not watched it.
Yeah, and that's just gone like completely under the carpet as well. I've literally heard nobody talk about that at all.
No.
It's because when you pick on something like a game or a book or something that there's a really strong backstory or lore to it, or the fans are really into it, all you have to do is just copy that, just follow it. But they're very good at going, we've got a director, he's never heard of it before. We're going to do our own thing. You go, why? Why would you do that?
And that's what slightly worries me a little bit about the God of War series that they're making.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how they're going to do that. They haven't released a lot yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the best games ever made.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about the casting and the story. It's
very under wraps still. Like the fact that there's not more info about it. It speaks volumes.
Yes, it is. Well, like, we were up The Last of Us, right? Like, the game is incredible, and the series was okay. And I watched a video the other day of it was when Fantastic Four came out, and Pedro Pascal was playing Marvel Rivals on a PlayStation 5 controller, and he can't do it. He's just clearly not a gamer, and all the comments were like, "Well, this just proved that he didn't play The Last of Us."
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he said he didn't play The Last of Us. I'm pretty sure he's like,
you're lucky he's a good actor.
When he was given the job for The Last of Us, I'm pretty sure I remember the video, I think he was on Graham Norton, actually. He was just like, when I got the job, I called my sister who's got my 2 nephews in the car, and he was like, should I play Joel? And the kid's like, "Oh yeah, you got to play Joel. You got to play Joel." And he was like, "Okay, I guess I'll take it then." And it was just like, "Okay, fair enough."
Again, I think it's one of them lucky ones where you're a good actor, so you could play that off. But it's when they decide to switch things up. Like, I'll never forgive episode 1, I think it was, of the Halo series, and Master Chief takes his helmet off.
I've seen so many clips.
That's
one thing.
That's diabolical.
Why would you do that? That's like pinnacle to hit like Master Chief. What are you doing, man?
Yeah, it was a tragic choice. Tragic choice.
Last on video games, I want a Red Dead Redemption video game.
That'd be sick.
Adaptation,
yeah,
as a series.
I would take that as a film if it was like 3 films.
If it was 3 long films, yeah, but I would
like
love
a Tarantino direct. Like, do you know what I mean? Like
Tarantino would be a great one for that.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't want like an 8-part series. I want like a 16-part series or 3 films. The game is so long, but.
Would you have it follow John Marston from the first film or Arthur from the second film?
That's a good question.
For me, it's Arthur. It'd be Red Dead 2.
I mean, you could do Red Dead Redemption 2 as season 1, and then Red Dead Redemption as season 2, and have it follow on with John.
Yeah, you could do it the other way around.
Undead Nightmare for season 3.
Get the DLC in there.
Make it like The Walking Dead. That'd be sick.
The Walking Red Dead Night.
Yeah, try and get that. Cool. Yeah, that would be. I do love. I think games should be invested in more, and they are over time. It's just you've got to be real careful with it.
Yeah,
it's difficult because I think people just don't understand how deep some of the story is and the world building that games have, especially like you say, for something like Halo, which has been going on for 25 years or whatever, and they try to just rush it out into one season. They don't understand how big these worlds are to people. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, the fact that you would just take someone's helmet off, man. Just so you can see who the actor is. Like no one, you've ruined it, man.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Anyway,
we can change to a positive note.
Yes,
something that we all watched, something that I think we all loved. Well, let's find out if you all loved it. We have now all seen Tom Hiddleston's The Life of Chuck. Out of 10, I'm going to count us down, and I want you to rate it out of 10.
Okay.
You ready? You confident?
Yeah, I'm just remembering the rating I gave it on Letterboxd.
Okay, cool. Right, I'll count us down.
Okay.
So, our ratings out of 10 for The Life of Chuck. I'll count you down in 3. So, 3, 2, 1, 8.5. Oh, okay. All right. I think they're all quite strong. You just both say 9.
They're all strong.
Yeah.
Okay. Ben, we'll start with you. Why did you give it a 9?
It was one of those films that hit me as soon as the credits rolled, and everything made sense to me. And I'll be honest, some parts of the film I didn't actually understand until Lauren, my partner, who I went with, she explained a couple of the bits, and then it was like a switch just went off in my head, and I couldn't believe I either missed something like that or I didn't understand it when watching it back. But then as soon as she said it to me, like it meant it was a completely different film for me as soon as it happened. It's such I wrote this in my review on Letterboxd. It's such a deep thinking film. It makes you question a lot about your own life or yourself or what life means to you basically in the world. And I love films that make me self-reflect on me for a meaning as strong as, living your life every single day as if it's your last.
That's pretty much perfect. Yeah, I would agree.
I couldn't agree more.
I gave mine an 8.5, and the reason it's not a 9 or any higher is because of the bits that confused me slightly. That is it. I appreciate it is one of them films that it is meant to be. I feel like every person gets something out of it different than the next, if that makes sense. So maybe bits that hit me didn't hit you, and vice versa. And maybe then that makes the confusing bits someone's favourite bit, if that makes sense. And that's the only thing I would say is that after I hear Craig's part of this, I'd be interested to see which bits you were confused by, to see if it was the same bits, if that makes any sense. Because that
you'll get different perspectives of it, don't you? So it's just how you saw it I did, or how differently Craig saw it.
Exactly. Yeah, but for me, I think very similar. I think it hit deep. I think there were certain scenes that I specifically remember that, even though they're sad, I was smiling through them because you're so emotionally appreciative of what they're trying to portray or they are portraying, and even just the actor's pure capability was like stunning in their moments. And yes, it is confusing, but sometimes that's beautiful. There was just obviously by the time this episode comes out, it's already out, so we can just talk about it like spoiler free.
Yeah.
The Tom Hiddleston dance bit at that moment, you have absolutely no idea why he's doing that.
Yeah,
But you don't need to know because you're just going, "This is great." Like
one
this
of
is
my
really
favorite
fun.
sequences of this year. I was smiling the
Agreed.
whole way through.
Yeah, it was just really fun. It was just beautiful, and maybe that is my own fault for rating it so low. It's 8.5, but so low compared to you lot is because
Yeah,
you could say that the confusing parts are the beautiful bits.
yeah.
So yeah, so you're a 9. I'm an 8.5. Craig, you gave it a 9 too, yeah?
I gave it a 9. It was one of those. I haven't. I remember when the credits rolled, and I just sort of sat there,
Yeah.
staring at the screen for a little bit, sort of looking at you a little bit. And I was just like, it's been a while since a film has made me just sit there and go, shit, okay. And
Yeah.
I've just sat there thinking about everything that's
Mm.
ever happened. You know what I mean? And I think it's just a really great exploration of just the meaning of life. Just, I know what you mean in terms of confusion in a way, because like we were sat there going, okay, this is what is. I've never read the books. I've never read
Yeah.
the book about it, so I don't know anything about going in. So I went into this sort of fairly, unknowledgeable, but
Which is the best way to do it, by the way.
which is the
Sorry.
best
I
way to
think
do
so,
it,
yeah.
100%.
I agree.
But I feel like the pieces just were put together effortlessly, and I think there's so many messages in that film. The more you think about it, and I feel like they really do hit home, and they really make you appreciate life, appreciate how short it is and how short it could be, and appreciating cinema, because that's a film that's like, I haven't seen a film like that in a very long time, or in
Yeah.
fact ever. It's something that's just completely different. It's a Stephen King adaptation that's we've never seen. We know the likes of it. We know the likes, of his other films. I can't remember off the top of my head right now because I'm just thinking about the Life of Chuck. But this is something completely different than what we've seen from him, and I think that's. I don't know. I just came out of that film and just mate. It's so good,
Yeah.
man.
I think, like you're saying, Stephen King you normally associate with horror. So I
Yeah.
say it. Pet Cemetery is another one
Pet
of his.
Cemetery. Yeah.
So you look at it thinking you're going to be scared, but watching the trailers from this film, I had a completely different thought of what I thought the film was going to be, and when I saw it, to what it actually ended up being. And like I say, it was just so thought provoking. Obviously, being Stephen King, there's a paranormal, hint to it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away from the realism of the film
Yeah.
and how human it makes you feel, and thinking about your connections and relationships with people and the world
Yeah.
around you. And I think that's what
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
hits home. Is obviously, like you said, it's sort of spoiler territory, but in our mind we have our own universe which we create with every living person
Yeah.
that we see, with every animal, with every surrounding that we go to, and that is our own universe in our head, and it's far bigger than what we think it is. But it's also small compared to the actual world itself. So then when you create this own universe in your own head, the thought of it going away when you're dying or when you're ill is the worst thing in the world to you. And the fact that we all have our own mini universes within our own head puts into perspective of we all have an outlook on life and a creation of what we see, and it differs to every different living person, and we will all be sad when it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
That's exactly it. And
Yeah.
I think the way they tell that, it's meant to almost confuse you, and then by the end, as you said, you round off and go, oh.
Yeah.
And like it's told back to front. It's told 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
And you see you see the end of kind of everything, and something that they clearly loved, and then by the end of the film, and as the acts go through, you find out why they loved that. If that makes any sense, and you're almost watching someone appreciate their memories and then live the memory, and I did really like that because first off, I didn't know that it was going to go Act 3, 2, 1. That was completely new for me. So when it started the film, it says Act 3. I was like, well, okay, all right, let's run with this. And I think a big thing I love about this film is that there was almost different genres throughout the film.
Yeah.
I think Act 3, which was technically the first one you watch, was like a Black Mirror episode.
100%.
Yes, it was.
You know, if we didn't continue that story, I would have that story as like a apocalyptic film. That was really cool. Like I had no idea what was going on. It was a very end of the world, no connections. It was really interesting, and you could tell that it was emotional and like emotion and depth and romance within it. But you don't at the time you don't know why.
Yeah,
that's what makes it really interesting.
As it ticked through, not just did you see some crazy names behind it giving off some really good performances, but there's some new child actors in there that absolutely stole the show. They really did. I think
100%.
Seeing the kind of relationship between young Chuck and Mark Hamill was my personal big bit. There was a bit I remember talking to Craig about where Mark Hamill shouts at him and he towers like a fear of him, and Mark Hamill instantly does what a true granddad should do and realizes, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to spook you, kind of thing. And I'm doing
backs down because he sees
that bit really got me, just because that's how it should be, if that makes sense. I don't know, it just hit very well, and it tackles some very strong situations in people's lives, both positive and negative. And weirdly, you don't. At no point in that film was I sad, but I was always happy, even at the sad bits. And it was able to tell a sad story, but for you to only see the positives coming out of it.
Yeah.
You round off the story. Life does come to an end. That is fact. But you're appreciative and happy of what you've done and the people you've surrounded. That's the point of it, if that makes sense. And I absolutely loved it. It's not the sort of film that I would have actively gone and seen, if that makes any sense. It was a real shot in the dark for me, and I think I have, and I still have put it for probably my number one film this year so far, which is crazy because I had I just
having no prior knowledge going in.
Yeah, it really surprised me. And maybe that is why it hit such a high thing for me, because it caught me off guard so much. But
I wonder what it was like for people that actually read the book, because obviously they would have known.
Yeah,
isn't it a short story or a selection of short stories?
Short story. Yeah, we were given a little book about the first.
That's cool.
Yeah,
it's the Act 3 basically. It's not long. Act 3 is basically 20 pages.
Yeah.
But I hadn't read it before, and it was one of those ones where I remember sat there going, "The world's ending. Who the is Chuck?" And then that scene, which I think is one of my favorite scenes in the film, between between Felicia and Marty Chiwetel and Karen Gillan. That scene where they're holding hands.
Oh my god! Yeah, with the stars in the background.
Yeah. That scene was like. Firstly, I was like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, what movie is this?" I couldn't put it together.
Well, that's what I meant. It caught you off guard because you're watching this like, oh, it's the end of the world, and they're holding hands. And you're like, wow, this is a beautiful moment. And then she's like, "Is that the North Star?" And then it just goes,
boom.
And you're just like,
which, by the way, as you remember, scared the shit out of me.
No, it wasn't that bit.
Was it not that?
It was when all the lights went off. The lamppost.
That's it. He's standing there talking to the girl roller skating, and you were sat next to him.
Just cut,
jumped out of nowhere.
Literally, it was just so off piste. It was like, what the fuck is going on?
That bit did get me, but it's one of those things where you're watching that scene between them both, and you think, okay, what the fuck? But then later on down, when the film's finished, you think that scene was fucking great, because it's like going back to the whole. Yeah, these people that you've met, as we find out, were teachers in his school when he was 11. He still thinks about, what lives are they leading and what's going to happen with them when I go. It's the story, the way that it connects all those little like sub stories, if you will, it's.
But I think that's the point, isn't it?
It's
It's
the
where
Yeah.
it's
it's
all
the
about
impact
the
people have on
magnitude.
your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the impact they made. Like we know that he had that interaction with Chiwetel on the dance floor bit, and like, oh mate, it's just the more I think about it, it's just such
It
a
is
fucking
very
good
good.
film, man.
What
It's such a
that's
good fucking film.
it's kind of like what I got out of it. It's telling you to basically live the life that you want to live and don't let people control what you would like to do. Obviously,
Yeah.
when Chuck was a kid, he wanted to be a dancer. He wanted to go into the arts and do entertainment, but his granddad was like, "Nope, you're going to be an accountant. That's what I've
That
done.
scene.
It's safe, secure. You'll get a good job from it,
Mhm.
rather than being a dancer, because statistically, you'll never make a living from it." But in the back of his mind, he knew that is what he wanted to do. So I think that's when Act Two comes in with Tom Hiddleston. He's living his day-to-day life of being this accountant. He probably doesn't like it as much as what he wanted to. And then when he was going down the street, saw the drummer, I think that just sparked something back from his childhood that made him want to just release and just
Oh mate,
express himself on how he wanted to be. And I think that's what
It is beautiful.
the
the
more I
main
think about
message
that,
that I got from it was, don't let others control your life and be the person
100%.
that you want to be. Because
Exactly.
on that dance scene in Act Two, was it that 9 months later is when he eventually dies?
Yeah.
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 So all it's telling you to do is enjoy and live the life that you want to live, because you don't know how far you've got left in the world. And for him to just go out and express that he still loves dance, he obviously still practices it because he was fucking good, by the way. Like, Hiddleston must have put in some hours for that performance.
Yeah.
Great
Definitely.
scene.
It's obviously still a massive passion for Chuck, and
Yeah.
the fact that he never got to live his life doing what he wanted to do and only went
Mhm.
into what his granddad told him to do. The fact that 9 months later, after having that experience, he's no longer with us. It puts into perspective to enjoy your life while it's there, because
Yeah.
it can be taken away from you any instant.
What's great about that scene is when you're talking about it, it clicked back to me was we obviously know the start of the dance when he's doing the whole like.
He
You
got it
know,
from his grandmother dancing.
oh mate, when
Yeah, I love that.
when when we got that scene of her dancing in the kitchen doing the exact moves that he
Yeah.
that hit me, man. Like,
Yeah.
and then
Because
mate,
what is he? How was he like 39 when he died? He was under 40, wasn't he?
38 great years.
38, yeah. So
Yeah,
obviously he didn't even reach 40
yeah,
when he was seeing his grandmother doing those moves. Was obviously 25, 30 years ago, and it's still stuck with him to that day. He probably never performed in the whole time he's been an accountant. Does this random street performance, and it just takes him back to that childhood memory. Obviously, such a core thing for him that
Yeah.
he just wanted to express himself. It doesn't matter the setting, who
Yeah.
was there, what was going on.
yeah,
He wanted to do it because that is what he wanted to do in the moment.
One thing that
yeah.
it was when you were just talking there that I don't know if it's important, but it clicked with me and I hadn't even clicked with it. His granddad, Mark Hamill, has that conversation with him about how this isn't a financially stable living. And he says he was like, being an accountant is a form of art. Like, you're shaping people's lives with this, that, and the other. And he says it's not a formidable chance to make any money from it. But after the dance, they make a lot of money. And that the drummer says to him, we can keep doing this.
And make a lot of money, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it is possible if you give yourself a chance.
Yeah.
He's the way I took the scene when he says you have to be an accountant, you can't be this. The first kind of beginning of what Mark Hamill's saying, it sounds like he's being a dick. Like, it sounds like he's crushing his dreams. But by the end of
Yeah.
it, I didn't feel that way. I feel like he rounds it
He's
off in
trying
such
to
a
look
beautiful
after
way.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's saying he's
Yeah.
like, you're still able to develop your art skill and things in a different way that's still. And now fast forward to they've done the dance and she says, do you want to continue doing this? And he says no. It's almost like he was happy where he is with what his granddad's taught him and I don't know, that's kind of how I took it.
Yeah, we know he
Because
did
he
that
could have
dance
said
in the
yes.
high school dance or the school dance to
Yeah.
everything, and he was like, "Oh, you got to know when to sort of stop."
Yeah, there you go, perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
And just be grateful for what's happened.
Yeah.
yeah,
And what
that's
what you've
exactly
done.
it.
Exit on a high sort of thing, and he did that then, and he did that. You know, it's the comparisons in this film and the just like the way that we see these early bits and the later bits in his life are done really, really well, and it's just the more I think about this film, the more it's just so good, man.
It was really good.
I just, oh mate.
Obviously, I know I mentioned Tom Hiddleston's dancing, but Benjamin Pajak, the child Chuck who done the dancing, incredible as well. How he pulled off
performance.
The way that he taught people how to moonwalk as well was crazy.
Yeah, I loved that bit. I loved just that whole act.
It also might take away a stigma for young guys who maybe want to get into dance,
exactly
but maybe there's a stigma around it. This might actually make them want to push the boundaries a bit more or step outside the comfort zone and go for it.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is, isn't it? It's trying to get out of your comfort zone, doing things that you may want to do or you may not want to do, but things like society norms or peer pressure or bullying or something may hold you back. And it's like it's very similar to the way that I talk to people when I do this. I'm just like, do you know what? I wanted to talk about film. I don't really care who doesn't like it or likes it or watch it or doesn't watch it.
Yeah.
If you enjoy doing something, just fucking do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Life is too short. Just do it.
That's exactly. I think that as a base message is exactly it. Yeah. I mean, he was like younger than all of them. He was shorter. He didn't have as many friends as what everyone else. Like you said, he got bullied or whatever. But as soon as he hit the dance floor, he was a different animal. So some of us might even think that our film opinions are shit or whatever, or people might not agree with everything that we say. But exactly like you said, Craig, you want to put out stuff there because you enjoy doing it and you want to create it. That is the message of the film. If there's something that you want to do and you're passionate about, or it's something that you enjoy doing, don't let anything hold you back from doing it. Just 100%. Get out there and do it, because life can be taken away from you in an instant, whether it doesn't matter if you're 10, 40, 80, you have no idea.
Yeah.
It's true.
Exactly. Going on to like the spoiler film or whatever, I know we've spoiled it already, but the paranormal act of it, of that top room in the house, shows you when someone is going to die, but you just don't know when it is. And he saw himself in like a withered state in the hospital. So he probably in his mind thought he was older looking at himself then than what he actually was when he died. So he might have thought that he had a lot more time than what he actually did. And that goes to, again, for the meaning of the film is nobody knows how much time they've got. Even if you've seen an image of yourself on your deathbed, you don't know whether that's tomorrow or in 50 years' time. So don't let that hold you back.
What did you think of that kind of finale answer of what's finally in that room?
I thought it was. I know some people probably. I think you were maybe a bit hit and miss on it, but I thought it was just a bit. I understand how people were like, "Oh my god, what's in that room?" But I feel like what was in that room was probably more haunting than what I originally thought, because we know that Mark Hamill's character was so against him seeing, and we know his reaction when he goes in there. He sees other people that were mentioned in the story, with the guy that was hanging himself, and kid that was ran over by the car, and he even saw himself just laid over there, and it was just like it is a very paranormal thing. But I feel like what was in that room was something so haunting that I found the whole part of Mark Hamill not wanting to show him, and then him eventually seeing it's. I find that just like, imagine being able to go into a room and just seeing like your end.
Yeah.
And like, it's one of those things where I had a thought the other day where it was like, it makes you think, that whole conversation you'd have, or there's that conversation that's always put out there is, if you could, would you know the time and date that you would die? And that's sort of a little bit like what I thought that room portrayed. And I was just like, if you could go into that room, if you knew what it would you? It's like I feel like it's a one that makes you think, but it's like it's a really interesting plot.
Because the way Mark Hamill's character, he was terrified, absolutely. Like, he was angry, but he was more scared than anything.
100%.
And I think that really also shows the difference in their characters, because he was terrified of clearly the end, or this ability that he had, if that makes sense. But when Chuck finally reaches that point, he's still only a kid. He walks in and there's no reaction, absolutely nothing. He sees it and he kind of accepts it. And I think it's that moment that he realizes, as we've kind of said, life is short. And he obviously, because I'm going to assume, right, when you walk in that room, you would see yourself and you could roughly guess how old you are and go, okay. Or when you're growing up, you look in a mirror and go, cool, I'm looking similar to that memory I had.
Yeah.
And it's clearly in that moment he walks in and he kind of recognizes, oh, this is how it goes. Now I'm going to live my life as it should be. Whereas Mark Hamill's character clearly wasn't ready, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? It's just the different characters. You mentioned, like, was I a bit on it? I think I was. I don't know if I was disappointed. I don't know, because it was Mark Hamill's reaction that was so big that I expected it to be bigger. But then I also said, like, what if he went up there and there was nothing? It was just an empty room. This whole thing has been blown up. I don't know. I don't know how the ending could have changed. I just thought it wasn't going to be that. Maybe I don't know if disappointed is the word. I just wasn't expecting it to be that.
Yeah, maybe underwhelmed. I mean, well, not underwhelmed. For me, I thought he was looking into maybe before, like, the story all put itself together. I thought he was looking into how the universe was ending.
Yeah,
And that's what haunted him so much.
I thought he was going to, like, this is me thinking it as the film was playing. I thought it was going to be he could see the universe, like the whole universe is in his loft.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I don't know, like the dawn of time to the end of time. I don't know, but that's what I mean. I don't know if I was underwhelmed. I don't really know. I just wasn't expecting it to go that way.
So, talking about how the bits that you was confused with the film. So, the thing that Lauren explained to me when we got out, which for some reason what confused me is, obviously, in that final act, you're seeing Chuck as a child, but with the teachers that are from the first act and the people around there, which are in the memories. I didn't put together that the first act was the universe in his head dying off as he died, and they're just all core memories that he had as a child.
Yeah.
It's like the life flashing before your eyes, basically.
Yeah.
And Lauren explained to me, it was like, oh, the first act / act 3 is the universe that Chuck had created with core memories from everyone in his life slowly dying off as he died. And as soon as that happened, I was piecing loads of stuff together. Like, the internet going down in Act 3 was kind of like his memories going, but the library that he tried to hint towards was the memories that he'd already stored. So he can't create new information, he can't create new memories, but the library is where everything is stored. So that's why he was trying to hint towards, like, go to there because that's where all your memories are. That's where all of your happy times are.
Yeah.
The fact that obviously all the lights going out is kind of like it's like the opposite of the saying of the lights are on but nobody's home. But for him, the lights are off but somebody is home, but he's just starting to fail from, like, the brain tumor that he's got. He's unfortunately starting to not recognize who people are or what's going on around him. So then the lights go off, and then everything on there in his memory is he thinks everyone is thanking him for the life that he's had, because he thought he was a good person. He left good marks on people. He obviously had a child in it. He had a wife, and he thought he was doing great at his job. He must have been happy with his performance because he was saying thanks for the great 38 years. And then obviously you saw flashes in windows of him as a younger man, as Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
And towards the end, they started changing to how he looked. So he was trying to remember how he looked when he was healthy as a man, but then it switches. And then, with the universe ending at the end, is obviously just that is when, unfortunately, his life comes to an end as well. But he wants to remember that the two teachers that he knew, or the teacher that he knew that was seeing someone who they went through a divorce, but he might have known that they were trying to get back together. In his mind, he wanted to remember them as being together and happy, and that's how he wanted to see it. That's what hit home for me when the credits rolled and Lauren said that sort of stuff to me. I was like, that was the universe in his mind that he created, full of all of his happy memories, full of all the core people that meant something to him, and that is the last thought that he wanted to think before leaving.
Yeah.
Do you think it was told in the right way? And what I mean by that is, you went act 3, 2, 1. So you started with memories and then you went into the life. If it played the other way round, would it have hit less?
Yes, I think so, because I feel like for me, in my experience, like I said, that final act that's the first act, if you will,
Yeah.
made absolutely zero sense to what I thought the whole film was going to be about.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you start putting those pieces together, I feel like the way that the story is and the narrative is, it just makes sense, and I feel like that makes it hit home more.
Mm-hmm.
It really impacts the story a lot more, because I feel like if you were to go from the whole 11-year-old to then being Tom Hiddleston having a dance and then the world just sort of coming to an end, I feel like it would still make sense, but it just wouldn't
It wouldn't
impact.
hit as hard, I don't
It
think.
wouldn't
Yeah,
hit as
I
hard,
agree.
and it just wouldn't do the story justice. And I feel like being told in that way it just makes the story run perfectly. And I feel like it really makes the messages that are being told in this film hit home very hard.
Yeah.
I haven't had a second rewatch, but I'd like one now because I'd like to see
I would.
things that I missed.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
I need to have a rewatch. Yeah.
yeah, like I don't know, like there's the scene when he's the whole dance scene, that act, and like the teachers are in the background and the roller skater girl and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
you're meant to clock them, but in that moment, you're going, what? Like, you don't get it at that time. Whereas I'd now like to rewatch it knowing what these things mean, because, like you just said, you picked up on points of what was clearly happening in Chuck's mind as he was slowly fading away. So now I would be looking for them. I bet there's so many more.
But there's a
Yeah,
lot of different.
especially in Act 3 / the first act. Now that you know the way the rest of the film
Yeah.
plays out, and there are images that may stick with you, you can now pinpoint them as they're going around. Like, is the sinkhole just the sinkholes that are happening in his memories fading away as they're going? The
Yeah.
internet going down, like I said, is him not being able to process new information. It's just, like I said, I think it's so thought provoking, and the scene that where he's a child in school and the teacher gives him the speech of, like, in your head is your own universe, and you've got multitudes of it in there.
Yeah.
Just speaks to you that everything you're living at the moment is in there somewhere, and those things will stick with you from now to the day you die. And everyone creates their own universe with all the experiences that they have, and we should be thankful that we even get to have those experiences.
100%.
Yeah.
I feel like this film is just one of those films where each person is going to experience something completely different. Like, we're obviously talking about it now, but you think people that, I'm sure people are watching this film or will watch or have watched this film that are potentially experiencing the same things as Chuck in this, and I feel like it's one of those films that are just really impactful for so many different reasons. I think everyone's going to take away their own different experience of it, which I feel like is such an important part to a film. And it's not a film that I've stopped thinking about.
No, I completely agree, and I think obviously it's only had kind of a limited run, and we've kind of been the UK's kind of got it a little bit later than everyone else.
Yeah.
And I've spent the last 4 days or whatever since we've seen it trying to sell it to people I know, because they have not even heard of it or have been like, oh, and I'm like, no, like, please give it a chance, because I was so. Yeah, it's been like 4 or 5 days now, and I completely agree with you. I haven't stopped thinking about it.
It's hard to explain to people to go and watch it when you want them to go as blind as possible, because you don't want to give too much of it away.
Exactly
that. I think it's what would this film. I think. What do you give it? Did you give it a 4, Ben?
I gave it
4.5. I think. Something like
that. We're both Ben.
Yeah. So yeah. Did we all give it a 4.5? Sorry.
I gave 4.5. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
What would make it go up to a 5? Could it go up to a 5, or what stopped it going from a 5 to?
Mine was probably, as I explained it earlier, which would be primarily maybe for me to not be so confused, which maybe is my own fault, but also maybe the ending I thought was maybe a little bit underwhelming. That was it. That is the only thing I could say.
Yeah, possibly to do with the top room in the house. Maybe, as much as I sort of liked the idea of it, I think, like you're saying, I expected maybe a bit more from it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Yeah, I'd say for me it would be. I think if I watched it again, I would most likely put it up to a 5, just because I feel like what
You
you
get
said
it more.
then was like the whole reevaluating it with the whole story in mind, being able to put things together a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like watching it again would be another great experience. I will watch it again. I'll probably watch it again in the next couple of days, but I just think I need to put it together in another way, and I think it's going to be a film that's going to be one of my favorite films of all time. I think
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's one of those films that I think when you give it a rewatch, you might even take away a different message from it again now that you
yeah,
understand it or know it a bit more. You might look at it
100%.
from a different angle. So you might even get a whole new second experience from seeing it again. It's
Yeah,
entirely possible.
It's
100%.
interesting looking at my letterbox and looking at all the people that I follow and I'm friends with and stuff. All of the people that I would consider similar to us in terms of like film people have all rated it a minimum of 4, but the average rating is 3.7,
Yeah.
which is really interesting. And I
My
wonder if it
friends'
is
ratings
because
and ratings. Yeah.
we clearly overthink things, right? That's kind of why we love film so much. We talk about it a little bit too much more than people probably normally do, and we look into things a little bit more than we normally do. And the fact that we're still thinking about a film 4 days later, most normal people would walk out the cinema and that's it.
Yeah.
Whereas we think about it a bit more, and it's really interesting to see the people that love film rate it higher than just all the people that I've got as like friends on Letterboxd that have got lower scores are just kind of normal film
Yeah.
people, not
I think it's because
film people.
it helps having the conversation with other people. Like I say, if the average film goer goes out to see this film, they come out, they're like, "What do you think of it?" It was all right. Yeah, same. And then they probably don't talk about it again. They probably
Yeah,
don't. They probably had two completely different experiences, but where they're not going to talk about it as in depth as like people like us would,
yeah,
they may not get the same satisfaction from it. Whereas as soon as I came out, me and Lauren talked about it like the whole way home on what we thought different things meant, how different storylines could have gone. Like I said, she literally had to explain to me that Act 3 was his universe he's created, and then as soon as that happened, it was like the Big
yeah,
Bang happened for me. Like
Yeah.
so much opened up in that film.
I feel
yeah,
like talking about this film on this has made me just love the film even more.
yeah. Because
It makes me
actually,
want to watch Act 2 again, like
it,
that sequence.
I know I agree with you. I feel like that scene with Tom is just one of the best scenes.
I don't know about you. When you sat in the cinema watching it, obviously I saw it at an unlimited screen with Cineworld, so I was with mainly regular film goers, but obviously a lot
yeah,
of people Cineworld members, so they would have been there for it. You guys obviously saw it at a screening for it.
yeah.
After that whole sequence finished, did you feel like giving it a round of applause?
I was buzzing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like as soon as
There's
that finished, I was like looking around. It's like, are we going to clap this? Because it was like a live performance.
there's something that I would like to mention. So yeah, you as you said, me and Craig saw it at an early screening, and we were lucky that Tom Hiddleston, Karen Gillan, and Mark Hamill came out and introduced the film. By the way, it's crazy. Like, first of all, I would just like to say that because it was insane. But there was the guy that introduced it, the host, said, "Please, obviously we haven't seen the film by this point, so this is the introduction." And he said, "Please, can you describe this film in one word?" And he said, "Okay, I don't want to spoil it." And I've got the video of it on my phone, and you could find it online. But he just says the word "enjoy." And first off, I didn't realize that Tom Hiddleston could talk the way he did because he talks so proper. And the way he said was beautiful. Like he just was off the off the cuff. But
Yeah,
and now I've seen the film, and now I think back onto his answer. It was a really, really good answer
it's a
because he talks about
great
how
answer.
he talks about the word enjoy, and he talks about how the word enjoy isn't something that you can have. You can't be given it. It's something that you have to go out and find. So to go and enjoy, you have to go out and explore and find things that you enjoy, and then you have enjoyed.
Yeah, you
And now,
experience
now
enjoyment.
seeing the film, that's exactly it. Like you aren't given it. He goes out and finds dance. He goes out and puts himself out there to enjoy. And like I said at the beginning, this is the beginning of the film. I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
He just says it.
He says this. I'll just play the first little snippet.
Yeah.
Just before we start the film, have you got any words for the audience before we press play on the projector?
I'm trying to think of what Mike would want you to hear. I mean, without, and I truly don't want to spoil anything for you. I think he would say, I remember when he first introduced the film at the Toronto Film Festival in a year ago, in September of 2024, he said this was the film he wanted to leave in the world for his children. And I think it's because, and this is my reading of it, having spoken to him about it, it takes deep, profound courage to hold on to what's good in a world that feels like it's falling apart. And I think all of us, individually and collectively, understand that anxiety sometimes, that when the world is spinning and there's a lot of grief and a lot of struggle and a lot of hardship, but there is great courage in human connection, our connections to each other, and that connection actually can be spun into joy, and joy is a kind of magic that's transformative and transporting. So he would want, I think, you to see yourselves in that. That ostensibly the film is, well, I think that I said this to Stephen King, and I think the most important word in the title of the film is the word life. It's a film about life. It's about everyone's life. It's about your lives. It's about our lives. And the last thing Mike said in Toronto was he talked about the etymology of the word enjoy. And if you go back to the root of the word enjoy, it's something that you actively make. It's not something you passively receive. That joy is something that can be made and shared and have this transporting magic. So as he would say, enjoy the film.
It's crazy how much depth he went into there without spoiling a single thing about the film.
The thing I took from it, one, yeah. First off, that was off the cuff. Like, he could talk. And also, well, to be fair, what do I expect? Like, Loki's lived thousands of years, do you know what I mean? Like, of course he's got knowledge of it. But, yeah, no, it was a perfect opening to a film. But it might be a perfect ending to this episode.
Yeah.
So maybe that is it. Maybe we round it off by saying, enjoy.
Enjoy life. Appreciate life. Don't take it for granted. Just appreciate everything that you've got. Just enjoy, man. It is. Oh, mate, I tell you what. This film's made me feel something that no other film has made me feel. Go and see this film. Go and watch this film immediately. Go and rewatch this film. Oh man, just appreciate life, man. Honestly,
Your life is your universe. Expand it how you wish.
Exactly.
Exactly that. Cool. Well, I would like to thank you for joining us as our guest this week, because this has been a very different episode. I love our episodes. Our episodes are so different, and this one, I'm now going to end and go and cry in a corner a little bit, I think. But yes, thank you very much for joining us this week. This episode, as always, will go live on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Next week is, don't know, really. It's a bit of a quiet week, isn't it? So we're going to have to find some new and interesting things to see what happens between now and then. But we shall love you and leave you on this one, because it's been a good week. Enjoy.
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 Cool. Thank you very, very much.